Rings of Power reaches its climax, its crescendo with an orgasm of the senses, an orchestra of the heart, and oh my Lord of the Rings, is this really happening? What a finale. Amazon finally silences its critics with a final show to blow your mind, as Sauron and Galadriel go toe-to-toe in a Middle-earth battle of the ages. Eregion is in ruin. Not even Rian, the token, Tolkien elf, could turn the tide of the war.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Thank you for your noble sacrifice and the diversity points, but Galadriel is back now, pointy-eared pyromaniac. Is that Celebrimbor or Keller Dartboard? The Dark Lord already has Galadriel's dresses. Now he has her bow and arrows. The man who made the rings is a dead ringer for a pincushion.
Tell me where you have hidden the rings, and I will end your suffering now.
You are the prisoner, Lord of the Rings.
The perfect name for a prisoner. One wonders what P. Diddy is called. In the Peter Jackson trilogy, Sauron struck fear in the heart. In the Rings of Power, he makes your heart bleed.
Are you him? Are you Sauron?
Good guess, or good memory. The orcs remember the original Sauron. Only the Dark Lord gets this emotional.
I have many names. What is yours?
And just like that, Sauron convinces every orc in Middle-earth to join his army of darkness. All it took was one sad look and a simple friendly question.
What is yours?
Adar, maybe their father, but what they really wanted was a mom.
She-elf, turn yourself in!
Do they call Elrond a he-elf? The orcs may make babies and raise families, but they are mightily sexist.
Leave us. Even wounds that have endured an age can sometimes yet be healed.
Is this the Rings of Power, or the Beauty and the Beast? Adar is now on Galadriel's radar. Looks like Orc Meat's back on the menu, ladies.
I was known by another name.
What was it?
Beautiful symmetry, Sauron,
I have many names.
and Adar.
A meaningless name.
A meaningless name for a meaningless character. While the Necromancer reels off 100 names, Adar can't even give one. This is not how you build rapport. What's in store now for the orc with no name?
Take it.
He gives back the healing ring like it's nothing. What a shame Adar was not around during the Lord of the Rings. He'd have dropped the one ring into the fires of Mount Doom while on a quick trip to the Mordor shopping mall.
What happened? Sauron did this. Forgive me, child.
If there's one rule to live by, when a bad guy turns into a good guy, he will die. A double turn to rival WrestleMania 13. The Family Guy, who kept asking why the orcs must go to war, is the one to gore Adar. Another parallel. The orcs slaughter their daddy like they butchered their mommy in episode 1. The Rings of Power comes full circle. Bullseye. Galadriel's spider senses are tingling.
Galadriel.
Their first scene since she turned down his proposal to become queen.
I will never be at your side.
This is obscene. A cinematic wet dream. The Dark Lord and the Lady of Light are going to fight. But first, some dialogue over a dying daddy.
All this was your design from the beginning.
You think too much of me.
Sauron hits the target again. One rewatch of Season 1 shows Sauron was a moron. He was no Moriarty, he had no grand plan. He was just another guy trying to get some sweet apple pie.
Sauron.
Surprisingly, this crown doesn't coronate the evil eye with severe PTSD.
Nightmares again?
It's no longer upside down, and like Sauron's fortunes, they're on the up.
Give it to me.
Give you what, saucy one? All that time with the beautiful, poetic elves of Eregion, and he's still as smooth as an Amazon Prime Air delivery.
Cease comparing me to a horse.
The Elf Queen is poetry in motion. She can swim the ocean like a cruise ship. Now she's a human battleship. Surrender, Sauron! Remember this scene? Your chances are somewhere between slim and none, Dark One. Wait, what's happening? The Dark One looks like he's the one in the Matrix. Did Galadriel skip leg day? And arm day? Training day? She's moving like a JCB with a punctured kidney. The rings of power must have been patched. The ultimate badass goddess has been nerfed.
ラジオを消してくれ。眠れる巨人を起こし。
The Battle of Midway pales in comparison to the Battle of Middling Earth. Nerf or no nerf, Galadriel will fight to the death.
Galadriel. To find the light, we must first touch the darkness.
The Dark Lord just wants to be touched, in all the dark places.
We are not alike. We never were. It was just another of your illusions.
Not all of it.
Sauron plays it cool like any man crushed by his crush. We all know the Prince of Sadness flooded Middle-earth with more water than Arwen, saving Frodo. Who needs a sword fight with the evil eye when you can kick like a Jedi? So long, Sauron. I am Obi-Wan. No more karma for the chameleon, for Galadriel is stopped in her tracks. Sauron is back to looking like one of the Backstreet Boys. Now's your chance. Take him down while his guard is down. Now, she has a soft spot for bad boys with a hot makeover. Holy Mary, cousin of Pippin. Smart move. Sauron transforms into the one thing no living being can make dead. Herself. Now he's Celebrimbor, the Master Elf dartboard. If this was a PS5 game, Galadriel just put the Rings of Power on story mode. Her Highness can leap higher than mountains and bring down armies of orcs, but here she looks like Rocky trying to get up before Apollo. Alright, time to fess up. Where's the kryptonite? Superwoman is super bad. The Dark Lord's favourite move, turning his head like Linda Blair in The Exorcist, or Jim in American Pie.
Sauron.
The door is still open.
Presumably the bedroom door.
The door is shut.
Sauron should be called Papa Sauron. At this point, his balls must be bluer than Papa Smurf's. Even Isildur is starting to blush. Finally, he sticks it in.
I would have placed a crown upon your head.
You would know all about that.
I would never have rested until all Middle-earth had been brought to its knees to worship the light of its queen.
Let the books be rewritten and Tolkien's story retold. The Dark Lord just wanted to be adored by a queen from his wet fever dream. Middle-earth would have been very different if the Lady of Light gave him the light of day. Or at least her phone number. The most shocking, upsetting moment in television history. The Queen of the Elves, the heroine of our hearts, is dying.
The rings are mine.
Will Sauron get the engagement ring back before she engages with the underworld?
You wish to heal Middle-earth.
Sauron the Deceiver cracks a smile. At long last, his dream woman understands him. All he ever wanted was to be accepted and loved by her.
Heal yourself.
More rejection for the rejected one, and more homage to the fugitive. Never trust an elf with a ring atop a steep drop. The Dark Lord has been deceived again. Is he Sauron the Deceiver or Sauron the Deceived? He's fooled more than the fool of a took. What will happen to Galadriel? But meanwhile, on Middle-earth, the Rings of Power goes full Library of Alexandria.
That is the full record of Celebrimbor's works, the wisdom of all who ever dwelt in this place.
Leave it be, I beg you.
One suspects orcs do not take orders from he-elves, she-elves, they-elves, or anyone else elves. Burn, baby, burn. But not literal babies, of course. They're orcs, not monsters. The fate of Elrond and his merry elves rests in Dwarf Prince Durin and his dad in Khazad-dûm. While Sauron is battling blue balls, they're battling a giant Balrog. Hold on, don't Balrogs appear in the Third Age, long after the Second Age setting of the Rings of Power? They sure do, but to hell with canon. This shot is straight fire. You shall not pass. Nah, you shall get your giant ass beat by an old dwarf who measures 4.5 feet.
Oh shit!
Now Dad's dead, call in the cavalry. The army of arrow-firing Oompa Loompas are more than a match for the army of orcs who enslaved all the elves. Arondir is here, the elf Robin Hood from the Hood. If Sauron wants a game, just say his name. The last time we saw Isildur, he was Inceldor, the #1 incel in Middle-earth, outside of Mordor. Forced to watch his true love Astrid make out like Cupid, he's now somehow Isildur the Cuckolder. What about her husband, Sauron Slayer?
My father is now king, and yours is wanted for treason. No timber, no supplies. There are only trees.
Interesting. The man who cares deeply about saving trees has no problem with playing the field with another man's wife. The wizard not named Gandalf meets the man not named Saruman.
Forgive me, old friend. I see now I was foolish to place trust in such low company. My people were once kings.
Kings of what? Eternia? He looks like Skeletor after a night of drinking with Bane.
Hold your families close.
Walk with me.
I would sooner walk this desert nameless and forgotten.
Where have we seen this scene before?
Thank you kindly, Grandelf.
Ah, so there it is. The wizard is finally christened by the Aegir Halffoot, Grandelf. Of course, Gandalf, but with an R in it, so Galadriel can roll with it.
Sauron.
Goodbye, Grandelf.
He's not even an elf, but that doesn't stop the checkbox checking crew printing off his new birth certificate. All that time in the desert looking for his staff, when it was conveniently placed here all along by the staff from the Rings of Power production team.
A wizard does not find his staff, it finds him.
The stranger has a staff like Doctor Strange's cape. Strange. One does not remember seeing that in the movies.
It finds him, like his name.
Gandalf. That's what they're going to call me, isn't it?
That's not what they called you.
Grandelf.
Grandelf.
He may be able to raise boulders like Rey Skywalker, but Gandalf the Grey can't remove wax from his ears. Galadriel is one thin red line from dying. Are these the souls of all the people she swam away from? Is that a D? For deserter?
Her very immortal spirit is being drawn into the Shadow Realm.
The mythical elvish medicine. Hold your hand over a wound, chant like you're in a cult, and hope for the best. Galadriel is done for.
The darkness is too powerful. I cannot save her.
Not like that, you can't. Come on, you're the elves, not trolls in a cave. Do something! She's dying!
I can.
Thank the Lord, not him. For Elrond and his magic wand, magic ring. Without this Deus Ex Machina healing, Galadriel would be fertilizing Ent children.
Pity. I've never known you to be such peaceable company. I believe I was growing accustomed to it.
Gil-galad is glad to have Galadriel back, but wishes the healing ring didn't heal her mouth. As Eregion lays in ruin and Sauron is growing, Arondir needs to hear direction from his lady.
What course would you advise, Commander Galadriel?
I would remember the counsel of our dear friend, greatest of elven smiths.
If he's the greatest, no wonder you're all homeless.
It is not strength that overcomes darkness, but light.
Light? Is that right? Pretty sure it was a fight with Gollum and an army of ghosts that did him in. Not exactly kumbayas, campfires, and candles. All hail Galadriel, the Queen of the Elves is back. We're coming, Sauron, we're coming to kick the living Wait, Gilgalad, what are you doing? This is Galadriel's moment. Bastard. Absolute bastard. Gilgalad, you're totally dead in the next season.